The first scene that I think is absolutely brilliant in the second Captain America movie is the fight scene between Captain America and the Winter Soldier, which I think it's quite obvious that I love this scene for all of you that have seen my reaction, but in this video I want to get into why this scene is so brilliant, really analyze it, get into it. So here's why I think it's brilliant. The first element that I really love about this scene is that it's down to earth. Like, I don't know about you guys, this might be different for everyone, but for me, I kind of lose the emotion in a fight scene, in an action scene, when it gets a bit too big. Like, I'm just gonna take Captain Marvel as an example, when she flies through space and destroys these missiles and rockets and flies through the entire ship, blowing everything up. Like, sure, that's cool from like a spectacle perspective, but I don't really feel much when I see that. So I actually prefer fight scenes like this, or action scenes like this, that are a lot more down to earth. These are just two dudes fighting on the streets.
Doesn't fly, he doesn't shoot lightning bolts, he punches and kicks. It's very meat and potatoes.
And sure, one of those dudes has a metal arm and the other one has a shield and is also Captain America. So that makes it unique, which is the next important element. Like, yes, I like fights that are down to earth, but of course, when you have a fight like that, it's very easy to fall into the trap of just being another fight scene that we've seen a million times before. But with this one, it's first of all unique because of the circumstances. Like, how often is somebody fighting one guy that has a metal arm? But then also, how often do you fight somebody that, or have seen somebody fight in a movie that just has a shield? Like, sure, in an army, there's probably often somebody that has a shield and a sword, but the unique thing about Captain America is that he's just fighting with a shield and his fist, basically. So the circumstances are already unique with the two characters. But then also, the choreography is, I think, what just takes this to the next level. Even if you don't really care about the technicalities of a choreography in a fight scene, if you watch a fight scene and it doesn't just feel like noise and, yeah, cool visuals, but you're actually feeling something, it's probably because the choreography is really great. So in this actually relatively long fight scene, what I think is so great about the choreography is that the circumstances of the fight always change. Like, we have moments in the fight where Cap has a shield and the Winter Soldier has a pistol. Then it's like Cap with shield against Winter Soldier with a knife. Then we have those moments where the Winter Soldier suddenly takes the shield and we get like a pause in the fight for that dramatic moment. And then Cap doesn't have a shield. It's fist against fists, fist against knife. Like, it's always something different. The circumstances always change. So it's always like, oh, he lost his shield. How is he going to deal with that? Oh, now he has a knife. What is Cap going to do? Like, that's, I think, what makes a fight scene interesting, unique, keeps it going, and also is like throws those questions, those challenges, or challenges the protagonist in the fight with different circumstances every couple seconds. So yeah, I think that makes it really high energy. But of course, let's not forget to mention that even the best choreography doesn't get you anywhere if you don't have great actors and great stuntmen that can bring it to life. And in this case, they absolutely did. Like, I've heard time and time again that Chris Evans is amazing at learning fight scenes, learning fight choreography because of his dancing background, apparently. Because, in case you didn't know, Chris Evans grew up learning tap dancing, and that apparently helps him a lot learning fight scenes, because a fight is basically like at least a fight choreography is like a dance with your partner, the guy that you're fighting.
It's all kind of a choreography, so it's sort of like a dance that you share with somebody.
So yeah, Chris Evans is really good at that, and in this scene it really shows because they're hitting all the beats. And Sebastian Stan also prepared very heavily for this fight scene and put a special emphasis on being able to use the knife and flip it around a lot, so he practiced that.
Sort of flipping this plastic knife. I mean, I was like driving in intersections and just flipping it in the car.
Meaning that this little knife flip we see in the fight scene took weeks of preparation, several takes, and all just for that 1 second of entertainment in the movie. In a nutshell, that's why I absolutely love movies. My next favorite scene is when Natasha and Cap are running from S.H.I.E.L.D, because this scene just perfectly encapsulates an element that is great in this movie overall. Because What I think takes this movie from being a good movie to a great movie is what they do with the character of Captain America. Because in this movie, Cap is basically a fish out of water. He's out of his element. He's a soldier that works when he knows who he needs to fight. Like, he needs a target, he needs ideally the command to take down that target, and then he heads there, takes care of business, and saves the day. But what happens when suddenly he doesn't know whose orders to trust and who he actually needs to fight? So the circumstances that this movie puts its main character in are really tailored to working brilliantly with Captain America, and they wouldn't work as well if you put some other MCU hero in there. So it's really, this is the situation that perfectly challenges the character of Captain America. And in this scene where Natasha and Cap are running from S.H.I.E.L.D., we see that because when they leave the store, Cap is like making a fighting plan. Okay, there's one guy there, I'm gonna first fight him, then you're gonna run here. And then Natasha is like, no, lay your arm around me and laugh at something I said. And yeah, it works. And we see that Cap is really out of his element. He doesn't know what he has to do, what's the best course of action in these circumstances. So he needs to learn from someone like Black Widow, who's a spy and knows a bit better how to act in situations like these. Suddenly Cap isn't wearing his uniform anymore. He's not heading into war, but he's undercover in disguise, I guess you could call it, stealing cars and heading to lost places and finding clues. Like, I absolutely love it. This is what we need to see with a character like Captain America. Take him out of the element where he feels safe, put him in circumstances that really challenge the core of the character. So that's why I really love that scene. And the third scene that I think was absolutely amazing in this movie is On Your Left.
Don't say it. Don't you say it. Left. Come on!
And at first glance, I wasn't really sure why I love this scene so much. Like, if you look at it, there's no crazy visual effects and there's nothing spectacular going on, but I just knew that I absolutely loved this scene. So I went in and analyzed it and tried to find all the aspects that make this scene so great for me. And as it turned out, it was a combination of many elements. So the first element I really liked about this scene is that it's a perfect introduction to Captain America, or to people that haven't seen any Captain America movies, it's an introduction, and to people that have seen other MCU movies, it's kind of like a refresh that just, in my opinion, perfectly sums up the character. Because you have to keep in mind that one thing that Marvel, at least in the past, always did so great is that the movies are amazing for MCU fans like me, but they're also great, or at least enjoyable, for people that haven't seen any other Marvel movies. So you need to set up the essence of Captain America at the beginning of the movie. And I think this just perfectly shows that, yes, he is a super soldier, he is extremely fast, he is a lot better than a normal human or a normal soldier, but he's still running. You know, he can't fly, he doesn't have any magic, so he does exactly what other soldiers do, he just does it a lot faster. So while it's a great intro that sets up or reminds us of the physical, unique attributes of Captain America, it's also a great casual introduction to Falcon. I just love that the two of them meet on a casual morning run. Like, it's so absurd, but also realistic. Like, I could really imagine that that would happen in real life. And then also later, when Captain America really trusts Sam when he's in danger or in need, for us, Sam also isn't a new face, so we've seen him before. So I really like that, yeah, that's how Captain America meets him, and that's also how we meet him. And because they meet in this scene, it not only sets up the physicality of Captain America, so what makes him unique, but it also, I think, perfectly sets up Sam, or the Falcon, in the way that he does what Captain America does, just slower. So he runs just like Captain America does, but he's just slower, as he so brilliantly points out later in the movie.
Don't look at me. I do what he does, just slower.
And another aspect that I think makes me enjoy this scene, especially now that I'm revisiting the entire MCU, is that there are just so many callbacks to this scene. Like, there are callbacks to this scene in the movie itself, like later when Captain America wakes up from his coma and is like, on your left, like, that's a cool callback. But then also we get a callback, for example, in the Endgame movie, in the like most climactic scene where all of them come together as they're snapped back to life, and Sam just says on the radio, "On your left." Like, it's those callbacks that just make me really enjoy revisiting this movie. So yeah, that's one aspect that definitely makes this scene pretty amazing. And I also want to touch on the dialogue that they have right after the run. Like, I'm just going to say that that's one scene overall, because that dialogue is also brilliant. In their casual conversation, Sam and Cap just instantly connect as soldiers, which is really important for later in the movie, because otherwise it would be like, why is Cap trusting this random guy that he met while running? Like, no, they have a short casual conversation, but they really connect. And also, it's again one of those dialogues that makes perfect sense and is great when you're watching the movie for the first time, but it really rewards people rewatching this movie, because rewatching it, you know that Sam is actually the Falcon, and now when you're listening to the conversation, it's like, oh, okay, yeah. He's not saying that he's not Falcon, like, he doesn't reveal it, but everything that he says kind of hints at that and makes more sense rewatching it when you know that he's the Falcon. And I think the perfect quote for that is when Sam says this.
Can't run everywhere.
No, you can't.
At first glance, when you're watching for the first time, yeah, it's a totally normal response to a comment that you can't run everywhere. But now knowing that he's the Falcon, it's like, I see what you did there, Marvel. So I love brilliant dialogues like that are even better or reward people that rewatch it. And of course, another iconic line in that dialogue is, "I'll put it on the list."
Everything you missed, jammed into one album.
I'll put it on the list.
It's just one of those classic MCU lines that for whatever reason just sticks in your head even years after having seen this movie. And I love that they took the time to make that a different list depending on in which region you're watching that movie. So yeah, I love brilliant stuff like that, a really layered dialogue, and that's why I think the first scene in this movie is absolutely brilliant.